Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm going to reveal 5 enemies inside you that silently block your success. And the first enemy is the one sitting right next to you every single day. What will people say? This enemy is powerful. It doesn't hit you with a punch. It hits you with a whisper. Don't post that. Don't start that. Don't try that. What if someone laughs? You know what's funny? Most people are not controlled by their parents, their boss, or their circumstances. They are controlled by a group of imaginary people standing inside their brain, shaking their heads. I know someone who wanted to start going to the gym, not because they wanted to get fit, but because they were scared someone would say, "Why are you suddenly trying to improve?" Imagine that, improving yourself is considered suspicious. Now, let me give you a famous example. When Ed Sheeran started singing live, people literally told him, "You have the voice of a broken air conditioner." Today, those same people cry at his concerts like he's singing directly to their soul. Or take Messi. At 11 years old, people said he was too skinny to be a football star. At 16, they said he was trying too hard. Today, those same people scream his name so loudly they forget their own nationality. People don't know what they want. They only know how to talk. But it's not just celebrities. Let's talk about everyday life. You want to wear something different. What will people say? You want to switch careers. What will people say? You want to order dessert when you promise to diet. Your friend will stare at you like you just murdered your goals. What will people say? A guy I know wanted to start YouTube but said, "My cousins will laugh." I said, "Your cousins laugh at everything. They laughed the day you were born." And anyway, have you seen the kind of content people post today? People eat fire on live stream and nobody says a word. You posting a video is not going to break the internet. People fear embarrassment more than failure. But embarrassment lasts 30 seconds. Failure lasts 1 moment. Regret lasts a lifetime. And here's the biggest joke. The same people whose opinions you fear are scared of other people's opinions, too. It's like a global chain of insecure people controlling each other. Let me tell you another relatable example. A girl wanted to post her artwork online. She said, "What if people say it's bad?" I asked, "Do you know how many terrible drawings go viral every week?" Nobody cares. She posted her art. It didn't just get likes, it got orders. People started buying from her. Now she laughs at her old fear. And that's how life works. When you care too much about people's opinions, you shrink your life. The moment you stop caring about what people say, people start caring about what you say. Because the day will come when the same people who judged you will proudly say, "I knew them when they were nothing." Not because you proved them wrong, but because you finally understood the truth, they never controlled you. You allowed them to. Before we talk about ego, let me warn you. This enemy is sneaky. It doesn't scream. It doesn't attack. Ego whispers, "I'm already right. I already know. I don't need help." And that whisper has destroyed more potential than failure ever has. Ego is the enemy that convinces you that learning is beneath you, while life is trying to teach you everything. I met a young guy once who said, "I don't need advice. I know what I'm doing." 3 months later, he came back asking the exact same questions he refused to hear the answers to. Not because he was stupid, but because his ego was louder than reality. We all know someone like this. Maybe a friend, maybe a coworker, maybe sometimes ourselves. Ego is funny. It appears the moment you know a little. You watch 3 motivational videos and suddenly you're a life coach. You lift weights for 2 weeks and suddenly you walk like you own the gym. You read 1 financial book and suddenly you give investment advice to people who actually have money. Ego makes beginners feel like experts and experts feel like gods. Let me give you a famous example. At the start of his career, Dwayne Johnson said he thought he knew everything about football and life. His ego made him think success would come easily. Then he got cut from his team, broke and depressed. He said it took that failure to realize, my way was not working. I had to learn again like a student. And today he dominates industries because he became humble enough to learn again. Another example, Steve Jobs was known for an intense ego early in his career, so intense his own company fired him. That's how powerful ego can be. It can make you lose what you built. But when he returned years later, he came back wiser, calmer, open to learning. That version of him changed the world. Ego is dangerous because it blocks the one thing that guarantees success, humility to grow. Let me give you something more relatable. A guy refuses to read a book because he thinks books are boring but spends 3 hours watching useless videos. A girl won't ask a question in class because her ego says, if you ask, people will think you're dumb. A businessman refuses to upgrade his skill because, I've done this for 20 years, and then he gets shocked when the world moves ahead without him. The people who pretend to know everything stay exactly where they are. So test yourself. Ask, when was the last time I accepted that I was wrong? When was the last time I learned something new? When was the last time I listened instead of argued? Because ego will never tell you when it's ruining your life. It will only let you realize after the damage is done. But here's the good news, you can kill ego with one weapon, humility. Not weakness. Humility. The courage to say, I don't know. Teach me. I made a mistake. I'll improve. I need help. It's okay. When you drop ego, you don't become smaller. You become unstoppable because you open the door to learning, to growth, to transformation. Remember this, ego makes you think you're climbing a mountain, but in reality, it's pulling you down quietly. Let it go. Your future is bigger than your pride. Now, let's talk about the third enemy inside you. This one is tricky, sneaky, and everyone suffers from it, even the most disciplined people. I call it quick results addiction. We live in a world of instant noodles, instant coffee, instant entertainment, so we expect instant success too. 2 weeks of learning and we want to be experts. 2 posts on social media and we want to go viral. 2 days at the gym and we want abs like superheroes. Sound familiar? That's quick results addiction talking. It whispers, if it doesn't happen now, it's not worth it. If it's not fast, it's not for me. Let me give you an example from real life. A girl started learning guitar. 2 weeks in, her fingers hurt. Her songs sounded terrible. She looked at a 12-year-old prodigy on Instagram and said, I'll never be like her. I give up. Quick results addiction had her trapped. She forgot that every master started as a beginner. Let's talk about famous examples. J.K. Rowling was rejected by 12 publishers before Harry Potter was published. If she was addicted to quick results, we'd never have Hogwarts. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. If he expected instant success, we'd never have seen the greatest of all time. Bill Gates failed multiple times before Microsoft became Microsoft. Quick results addiction would have made him quit after the first bug in the program. We all know someone like this. Someone who starts a fitness program in January, quits in February. Someone who invests in the stock market, sells in panic after 1 day. Someone who starts a course, abandons it after 1 difficult module. The problem isn't lack of talent. It's not lack of resources. It's the expectation of instant gratification. Here's a funny truth. People complain about life taking too long, but they spend 5 hours binge-watching a series, 1 hour scrolling social media, and 20 minutes learning something meaningful. Quick results addiction is like a toddler. It throws a tantrum when it doesn't get what it wants immediately. And the worst part, it convinces you that giving up is smart. Let me share a relatable story. There was a guy who wanted to learn English. He downloaded an app, did 5 lessons, didn't understand anything, and said, this app is useless. 3 years later, the same guy complained that foreigners don't understand him. Quick results addiction had him again, expecting miracles without patience. The truth is simple. Success is a marathon, not a sprint. It is slow, messy, uncomfortable, and full of failures. And the people who quit too early, they're not lazy. They're addicted to fast results. So how do you fight this enemy? You learn to love the process, not the outcome. Here's the harsh reality. The internet, trends, and social pressure make this enemy stronger every day. But if you can wait, persist, and focus, you will beat everyone who gave up too soon. Quick results addiction can ruin dreams silently. It makes people quit the moment the magic doesn't happen. But magic is built over time. Not in a day, not in a week, not in a month. If you can resist it, you will outlast everyone else. You will build what others only imagine. Now, let's talk about the fourth enemy inside you. This one is extremely popular. Everyone knows it. Everyone struggles with it. But very few fight it seriously. I call it tomorrow. Yes, that little word that sounds innocent, harmless, like a promise, but secretly steals your life. Tomorrow I'll start my diet. Tomorrow I'll start my business. Tomorrow I'll learn that skill. Tomorrow I'll work on my dream. And tomorrow comes again. And suddenly 5 years have passed. And your dream is still waiting somewhere in the corner of your mind while life moves on without you. I know someone who wanted to start a blog. He kept saying, tomorrow, tomorrow, tomorrow. Years later, he told me, I still haven't started because I'm waiting for the perfect day. I asked, was there a perfect day for Instagram, TikTok, or YouTube? He laughed and finally realized that perfect day doesn't exist. Let me give you a famous example. Jeff Bezos didn't start Amazon on a perfect day. He started it while working from his garage, while risking everything, while people laughed at him. There was no perfect moment. He just acted. Or look at Oprah Winfrey. She started her career with little experience, no fame, and constant rejection. She didn't wait for the perfect day. She created her perfect day by acting now. This enemy is sneaky because it feels safe. Tomorrow gives you comfort. It says, don't rush. Don't stress. You have time. But that comfort is a trap. It lulls you into inaction. And inaction is slow death for dreams. Think about it. The person who wanted to learn coding tomorrow is now stuck in a job they don't love. The student who promised to study tomorrow is now failing the same exams. The entrepreneur who postponed action tomorrow is watching competitors succeed. Here's a funny truth. We spend hours scrolling social media, watching other people live, liking their achievements, all while telling ourselves, tomorrow I'll be productive. Tomorrow I'll start my life. Tomorrow is the enemy that wears the mask of innocence. It never looks threatening. It never shouts. It just quietly steals days, months, years until one day you realize, where did my time go? Here's the harsh truth. Every tomorrow you give yourself is a day lost forever, and you can never get it back. So, how do you defeat this enemy? Start today. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Not when conditions are perfect. Start now. In this moment. With whatever you have. Write one page. Send one email, post one video, learn one thing, take one step today. Because one step today is worth more than 1,000 tomorrows. Remember, your dreams are not waiting for the perfect moment. Life doesn't pause. The world doesn't stop. If you keep giving everything to tomorrow, you will live someone else's life, not your own. Don't wait. Move. Act today. Now we come to the fifth enemy inside you. This one is subtle, quiet, but incredibly dangerous. I call it old identity. You see, most people want a new life. They want success. They want money. They want recognition. They want happiness. But here's the problem, they are still the same person they were 5, 10, or 20 years ago. Same habits, same mindset, same environment, same excuses. It's like expecting a mango tree to grow oranges. It won't happen. Not because the tree is weak, but because the tree never changed. I know someone who said, "I want to become fit, healthy, and strong." But he continued eating junk food, sleeping late, and skipping workouts. Guess what happened? Nothing. Zero. He wanted a new life but held on to his old identity. Even famous people prove this point. Arnold Schwarzenegger didn't become Mr. Universe by wishing to be strong. He became it by acting every day as the person he wanted to be, disciplined, focused, relentless. Elon Musk didn't build SpaceX and Tesla by thinking like a regular engineer or businessman. He adopted a new identity, the person who could risk everything, learn everything, and keep going. The truth is you cannot become someone else without first becoming a new version of yourself. Your habits, your environment, your daily actions, they define your identity. And if you keep doing the same old things, you will keep getting the same old results. I've met countless people who want a millionaire life, but they spend their evenings watching TikTok, scrolling Instagram, and gossiping about friends. They want respect, but treat everyone around them poorly. They want health, but eat sugar like it's medicine. Your identity is not your name. It's not your degree. It's not what people call you. Your identity is your daily actions, who you are every morning, every choice, every habit. Let me give you a relatable example. A friend wanted to be a writer. But every day he told himself, "I'm not a writer. I can't write. I don't have time." Guess what happened? Exactly what his old identity predicted, nothing. The moment he acted like a writer, writing 1 page a day, reading every day, learning every day, he became one. Not magically. Not overnight. But slowly, consistently, until one day he looked back and realized, I am no longer who I was. I am the person I wanted to be. Old identity is dangerous because it hides behind excuses. It says, I can't. I'm too old. I'm too inexperienced. It's not me. And the worst part, it feels safe, comfortable, familiar. But comfort never builds a legacy. Familiarity never creates innovation. Old habits never lead to new results. So how do you fight this enemy? Act like the person you want to become. Think like the person you want to be. Learn like the person you want to become. Surround yourself with people who reflect the identity you want. And slowly your old self will fade. Your new self will rise. Remember this, you can't create a new life while living in your old skin. The person you are today is a copy of your past. The person you want to be tomorrow needs you to act today. Stop being your old self. Start becoming who you were meant to be. Thank you for listening and don't forget to like and subscribe, my friends.